This video is going to go through the setup and operation of the Thetford Cassette Toilet. When you want to use the toilet, you lift the lid. There's a lever on the side of the toilet which opens and closes the blade, giving you access to the holding tank at the bottom of the toilet. So when you want to use the toilet, you open the blade, use the toilet. On the top you've either got a button if it's an electric flush, or you've got a lever, but by operating you can flush the toilet and then you move the lever to close the blade. It's important, before you try and take the cassette out of the caravan, which you do from outside, that the blade is in the closed position. If the blade isn't closed, you won't be able to take the cassette out. The other thing to make sure is when you're actually emptying the cassette on the outside of the caravan, that everybody in your unit knows that you've taken the cassette out, because from inside the caravan nothing changes and it isn't obvious that the cassette is not in place. But for obvious reasons, you don't want anybody using the toilet without the cassette in situ. So this is the outside of the toilet. This is your flush filler, and this is the compartment where the holding tank is. So before you can use the toilet, you need to set up the flush and the holding tank. To set up the flush, you use the pink. You put a small amount into the jug. It's supposed to be 150 to 1. But I usually say, imagine you're making squash. Put a small amount of pink into the jug, fill the jug with water, open the flap and pour. The flush is then ready to use. When you're using the toilet and the flush runs out, you can just put some more in at any point. So as and when it needs it, just top it up. What I would say at this point is, if you're only there for a couple of days or you're nearly ready to move with the caravan, don't fill the flush. You don't want to be travelling with the flush compartment full of pink fluid. So try and keep the quantity down when you know that you're going to be travelling. The holding tank for the toilet is in here. As I previously explained, you will only be able to get this holding tank out if the blade is fully closed inside the caravan. You take this yellow lever, pull it up and gently pull the cassette out. No force should be required. To set this up for first use, remove the cover. With this yellow disc here, you can move that and that will open the blade manually. You can then drop one tablet in and add 2 to 3 litres of water. The tank is then ready to use. It's then important that you move the yellow disc so that it's running down the length of the cassette tank. The reason for that is that that yellow disc has to fit into this groove here, and if it's not in line, then it won't go in. You can then replace the cover take the cassette and slide it in, making sure that the yellow lever at the bottom is located correctly. When you want to empty the cassette, you take it out in the same way, remove the slider, take the tank to the LSAN emptying point, turn the spout outwards, remove the yellow cap. When you tilt the toilet, all the contents will come out from the spout. In order to let air into the tank while the contents are coming out, you press the yellow button at the back. Once it's nearly empty, you can open the blade, as we did before, and get a hose pipe in, get water in there, give it a good swill round and clean it out thoroughly. If you're going to carry on using it, you would repeat the process with one tablet and the water. Close that. Put the yellow cap on, turn the spout, put the cover on and slide it away and close the door. When you're returning the caravan to me, it must be returned emptied and cleaned out. Don't set it up ready for the next customer. Just leave it as you found it, completely empty and clean.